Good afternoon, champion. So I hope that you had a great weekend, and I hope your weekend was fantastic. So I'd like to officially welcome you to our today's analysis. So today I'd like us to just like us to analyze Euro USD NAS 100. Then I'm going to finish up my analysis with GBP card. Sorry, not GBP JPY. So we're going to do two currencies and then one index. Then we are going to be done. So starting with the Euro USD, this week it had started off with a bull move, that is a move to the upside. The market were, because the whole of last week I think we experienced a lot of downward movement, that is the move towards the downside. So for this week I tend to think that the market came back with a lot of volatility just to move toward the upside. And for those who have not joined the WhatsApp group, people are eating in the WhatsApp group. So if you're interested in joining our WhatsApp group, the link is going to be in the description space below this video. And also, if you would like to join our Telegram channel, the link is also in the description space below this video. You can join. You can follow us on Instagram. You can follow us on Facebook. And follow us on Twitter. All the links are in the description space below this video. We usually share free signals of Forex, just telling you how the markets are moving, so that our main aim is just to make sure that you are able to capitalize on the small moves that the market always make. Our main aim is to make you to become profitable when it comes to the market analysis. So today I shared this analysis. I think it was around in the afternoon. I shared this analysis when Euro USD was moving toward the upside. But let me start off from the daily time frame. So looking at the market from the daily time frame, this is what we are having. So I think I talked about this also last week. I think on Wednesday and also on Friday, we're talking about this particular part. We are still at this point of consolidation here, where I told you that since the market are at this point, that the market have already touched this particular point here, the markets are going to move toward, they are going to move toward the upside, because that is what the market have been doing. So you can see at this particular area, the market came to this point of support, moved to the upside, came to this level, made a touch to the downside, created a point of support, moved to the upside, tapped that trend line, and also this particular point of resistance, and it came down to have a retest to this point of support. Also, we had a downward movement to this particular point of support. Now we are retracing to this point of support, so that we can be able to make a move toward the upside to this point of resistance again. So that is what we are having when it comes to the daily time frame, the analytical part of it. So moving into the 1 hour time frame. So moving into the 1 hour time frame. So looking at the 1 hour time frame, it is just the same thing that I talked about last week. So you can clearly see that we had a very fantastic pattern, an upward trend pattern, where the markets came down to this particular point of support. We had a move to the upside to that particular area. We had a touch to this particular area. We had a move to the upside, but then we expected the market to move toward this direction. But when it came to this point of resistance, the market made a breakout to the downside to have a retrace to this particular point of support. And so currently, you can see that the markets have been consolidating between these areas here. So we have been having a lot of consolidation. And after the market tagged this particular area, it was like a signal based on the previous movement of the market, that the market were now ready to move to this particular area. That's why you are seeing at that particular level. So that this time round, it can be a sort of correction to move in between this particular trend line. So we are going to hopefully have a move to that particular area. So that is what I am seeing on the part of the analytical part of the markets for Euro USD. We are expecting some news tomorrow, so I don't know if they are going to affect the markets, but it is just a matter of just waiting and seeing if they are going to affect the market. Now moving into the 1 hour time frame, it is like so this can be a double triangular theory. So it can be a double triangular theory, where we are expecting that since the market moved from that part to this upper level, and then they came to have a retrace to that particular area. So we are expecting that the markets are going to touch this particular area, so that we can have a complete triangle of that sort of shape. So I'm expecting that I'm waiting for the market to have a breakout to the upside to I'm waiting for the market to have a breakout to the upside, uh, because this is a very strong point of resistance here, and you can see that we had a very strong red candlestick, I think an hour ago, and currently we are having this a very strong red candlestick. So we are just waiting to see how the markets are going to behave. So let me close this first. Yep. Okay. So currently I've just closed the market. So I'm expecting, so I'll be placing another trade to that upper level. So I'm just going to place another trade here, and then I'm going to reduce my risk to that level, I think. Yeah, so that is good. So I'll be placing a buy stop after this recording. So I'm going to place a buy stop. So this time round, I'm just expecting that the market, okay, someone may ask, why have I closed the trade? And according to my analysis, I'm so sure that the markets are going to move to the upside. One thing that you have to understand in forex, that you have to sometime lock in your profit just to be in the safer side of the market, because anything can happen in the market. I don't control the market. You don't control the market. So the only thing that you can do is just analyze the market and hope that they are going to move according to our direction. So currently you can see that the market have moved from these particular areas here, and they moved to these particular areas here, and then they came down to these levels that are here, and currently we have seen a move to this particular level, had a retrace. So at this particular point, I'm expecting that the markets are going to move to the upside to these specific areas here. So I'm just waiting for the markets to kind of create a clear breakout to this point of resistance, because this point previously acted as a very strong point of support in this area. So currently, you see, a point of support may tend to behave as a very strong point of resistance, in which the market may go ahead and pull down to these particular levels for it to gain magnitude in order to have a move toward the upside. So that's why you can see that currently I've placed in um, a buy stop at that higher level, just to be safe in the market. Yep. So let us move to NAS 100. Wow. Okay, now for NAS 100, so this is what I'm expecting NAS 100 to behave this week. Now, moving from, analyzing the market from the daily perspective, so you can see that we had a very good pattern, a move to the downside, a move to the upside to this particular point of resistance, and then we had a move to the downside to this particular trend, and then we had a move to the upside to this particular point of resistance, a move to the downside to this particular point of support. Currently, you can see that the markets are moving toward the upside. So currently, the market are at this particular point here. So I'm expecting that the market are going to rise to this level. Remember, it is a common characteristic of NAS 100 that they have at the end of the day to create new highs. So because they have moved to this particular point of support, and they have already retraced this particular point of support, what we are then expecting is that they are going to create new highs. Now, from this particular point of resistance, we're expecting that the markets are going to move higher to create new highs, and it is a matter of just waiting and seeing. So moving into the 1 hour time frame, now looking at the market in the 1 hour time frame, you can see that so we had a clear move. Now we can see this is a smart move from this particular point of resistance to this level. Then we had a move to these levels. Then you can see that we had another move to these levels. So it is a very fantastic pattern, very predictable, not not so much hard to predict the NAS 100. So currently we're expecting the market to come to these levels so that they can create new highs to the upper level. So that is what generally we are expecting for the markets to do. So moving into the 1 hour time frame. Now looking at the market from the 1 hour time frame, then you can also see another pattern being created. So a move from that point to this level, we had another move to that level, we had another move to that level. Uh, came to this point of support, moved again to this point of resistance. Now we have had a retrace to this point of support. So currently, what I'm expecting is that the market are going to rise to these levels, and then since this is a very strong point of resistance, then the market are going to have a small retrace to that level before moving towards the upside. So the market may move toward the upside to come to these levels. So I hope you are able to understand, because I'm expecting the reason as to why I'm expecting that the markets are going to break this particular trend line here. It is because of the kind of resistance that is being characterized in these areas. So you can see that from this point of support, the market are going to move to this point of resistance. Now, if they come back to this point of support, then it will be a clear sign that the market will be kind of accumulating some volatility so that it can be able to create a breakout to the upside so that it can be able to touch those levels that are there. So that is it for NAS 100. So I think I'll just get into that trade right now. So yeah. So moving into our last pair, that is GBP card. So moving to GBP card, GBP is another good pair to trade with. Uh, so starting from the daily time frame. So looking at the market from the daily time frame, so you can, okay, it is a little bit challenging, but not so much. So generally, you can see that this is a move toward the downside. You can clearly see that this is a general move toward the downside. But then you can see that it is not just a straight move. So you can see that you have got a move to the upside, then we characterized by a move to the downside. We had another move to the upside again, another small retest to these particular areas. So, and then you can see that in these areas, the market had created a kind of a breakout. Then we had a retrace to this particular point of support, and we are going to see much of it when it comes to the 1 hour time frame. Now, looking at the market from the 1 hour time frame, you can clearly see that this is a kind of an upward trend where the market are moving toward the upside. But then inside this particular upside, you can see that different patterns are being created at the same time. You have got an upward trend, but then you have got a downward trend. But generally, this is kind of an upward trend. But then inside this upward trend, you can see that different patterns are being created. Like you can see that the markets came from these areas, moved to this point of support, moved to this point of resistance, created new point of support, moved to this level, started creating new patterns in between. You can see that these are patterns that are created in between, created a breakout, came back, created a move to the downside, moved again to this particular point of resistance, and we have been having several consolidation, and the markets came to this level, created a breakout to the upside. We had again some consolidation here, and then you can see that after these levels, the market then came down, created a point of support, retest, and then we had a move to the downside, a move to the upside, a move to the downside again, a move to the upside, a move to the downside to this particular point of support. Currently, we are at that level, and we're expecting that the markets are going to move to that level. So it is a lot to put in when it comes to GBP card, but it is easier also to understand. So looking at the market from the 1 hour time frame, so from the 1 hour time frame, you can see that the markets came to this level, came to this point of support, came to this point of resistance. We had a creation of a new point of support, had a retrace to this point of resistance again, came to this point of resistance again, a breakout to the downside, created new point of support, and then now from this new point of support, you can clearly see that we are at this particular level. I'm expecting a breakout, to be honest. I'm expecting a breakout to the upside, that is at this particular level that are here. I'm expecting that the markets are going to break out to the upside to come to these new levels. Yeah, that is what I'm expecting the markets to do, because based on the previous movement that the market have made. So let me show you what the market did the previous. So looking at the market from, I hope you'll be able to view, yeah. So looking at the market from kind of some time back. So like at where the market are currently, you can see that there's some small similarity. So you're looking at these levels here and also comparing them to these levels that are here. So looking at the markets at this particular level, the market shot to the upside to this particular point of resistance and then came back. So that is what I'm expecting the market to also do at this level. That you are going to experience a breakout that is going to change the general pattern of this particular pair for a move towards the upside to come to this particular point of resistance. So I'm expecting the markets are going to move from that level to this level, create a particular point here before making new highs. So I'm just going to remain optimistic on how the markets are going to behave. So that is all that I had for you, dear champions, for this day. My prayer is that may the pips always be with you. Please make sure that you always at all time practice or apply proper risk management. Always apply proper risk management. You are not the market maker. So that is all that I had, and it is always my prayer that may the pips always be with you. Thank you.